What's going on, everybody? It's Sacred Eagle. Today is it's a little bit early for me, but we're gonna do the Eagles at the Los Angeles Chargers prediction preview, all that good stuff. We're gonna break it down, talk about my things that the Eagles need to do in order to win this game. And I know this is a little bit early, but Fletcher Cox, Jordan Hicks, they're day-to-day. They didn't practice today as they returned to the field after, the break that they took off after the Eagles and Giants victory that we had. But their day-to-day, Coach Doug Peterson is very optimistic that they're both going to be able to play. Rodney McLeod was able to participate in practice, so that's a really good sign for our secondary to help us out because, secondaries, as far as corners, they've been okay. Nothing's really happened. And if we look back at the film, the 77-yard touchdown catch and run by Sterling Shepard against the Eagles last Sunday could have been an easy 25, 30-yard catch and run had Chris Maragos have had a better angle to stop the guy from running down the field. And I feel like that's something that Rodney McLeod would have done had he have been in the game. I'm not going to discredit Chris Maragos. I mean, he's the third, fourth stringer for the safety. He's normally the specialist on special teams, and he came in, played a really solid game up until that one play where he messed up. But I'm not going to put all the blame on him because that entire defense was worn out, tired, and broken down literally once we got out of that game. So looking ahead, we're dealing with people like Phillip Rivers, pretty solid offensive line, and Melvin Gordon at their running back, the star Melvin Gordon. And what do you got to do? And of course you got Antonio Gates and the wide receivers there. It's a solid team. It's a really explosive team if you get taken advantage of, and we don't want to fall victim to that. These guys are 0-3. They're going to be very desperate, so we got to come and play strong. We got to play physical. No more cushion to the wide receivers. We saw Jim Schwartz play a little less aggressive with the corners, having them back up a lot, giving them a lot of room, and that's why we could not get to Eli Manning, because we were giving them so much cushion when Eli is going to throw short passes, quick slants, all these out routes and stuff to get the ball out of Eli's hands quicker. Jim Schwartz kept the wide receivers getting open instantly, and that's why we couldn't get to Eli Manning. That's why we had no sacks, and that's why after a while this defense started to wear down. He did not make the adjustment. I'm hoping he makes that adjustment now, because you do not want to go up against a healthier team that's actually putting up more points than the Giants did up until that fourth quarter. I mean, you don't want to risk anything like that. So it didn't make sense to me seeing Jalen Mills and Rasul Douglas so far away from Brandon Marshall and Odell Beckham, of all people. Like, you gotta play physical with these guys. Why do you think Josh Norman has so much success? Why do you think Richard Sherman has so much success? Because they're physical guys. You need to play physical in order to keep up with these wide receivers, or else they're going to end up burning you slowly, and then bam, you let one go. And that's exactly what happened with the Giants game. I'm not going to say that's the only reason why we blew the lead, of course. I mean, offensively, we started to shut down in the third quarter after that touchdown. And then defensively, the rest of the story. But still, looking at that game, we could have done a lot more better things to, better adjust ourselves to win that game easier and way earlier instead of last second, literally. So, as far as offense goes, I mean, we're without Darren Sproles. We re-signed Kenyon Barner, who signed with the Chargers. Funny to think about that. That he signed with the Chargers back in the preseason, or back in the offseason, rather. Did not make the team, got cut on September 2nd. We picked him up after losing Darren Sproles for the rest of the year. He's most likely going to take the place of Darren Sproles at kick returns and punt returns. And we might even use him in the pass game. Depends on how Peterson and the offensive coordinator really feel about him going into San Diego, LA. So, as far as offense goes, you just keep running the ball. Keep being consistent and keep the play calling balanced. Don't have everything hanging on Carson Wentz's shoulders. He's been handling it very well. I'll give him that, but you don't want to be throwing him 35 to 40 to even 50 times a game. like you were in the first 2 games. We threw him like 35 and then 46. You don't want to do that. Last week we threw him 31 times, but it didn't feel like 31 times either. He didn't even get 200 yards. That's how much we didn't need to, worry about him handling things well or not, making turnovers, making big plays happen. He didn't have to make many plays happen because the plays happened for him. That guy that came in for Chance Warmack at left guard, Wiz, you better keep him. Number 61, I think his name is Stephon Wiz something. The nickname is Wiz because his name is very hard to pronounce. I don't want to butcher it, but keep him there. He was doing really good with Jason Peters and Jason Kelsey right next to them. If you do that, your offensive line is going to be really solid. Just keep utilizing LeGarrette Blount well. Wendell Smallwood's going to get a lot more productivity out of the next entire season in general with the loss of Sproles. Corey Clement could be thrown in there here and there to, give Blount or Smallwood a break. That's completely fine with me. But you got to get Alshon Jeffrey the ball. And I wouldn't necessarily say get him the ball. Just keep giving him chances. Keep making him get more physical, be the number 1 receiver that he needs to be for us, so he can make these plays happen and everything. Torrey Smith, keep doing you. Go vertical. Make the catches, though. That's all you got to do. Make the catches. Carson Wentz, keep away from the turnovers, especially fumbling the football. Interceptions haven't been your issue. If you take away the 2 tip passes this year, he would not have any interceptions. He'd have a fumble or 2. Other than that, he wouldn't have any interceptions to his name this year. So, and then going to Zach Ertz, don't be fumbling the football. And he needs to get these tackles broken. He needs to be more physical. I'm utilizing the word physical today because it's a really key thing the Eagles need to do, is be very tough up front. You just got to win these battles. Zach Ertz always seems to go down after the first hit. You need to break these tackles. You need to be way stronger, more physical. You're a 6'5", 6'6" guy. You need to be able to break these tackles. And all in all, this game should come down to Doug Peterson and how he calls it. Last week he called the game pretty well, minus the 4th and 8 in the second quarter, which is very questionable, very idiotic. I don't know why. I know Blount was open for Wentz and he could have gotten the first down, but still, it just was not worth the risk with 2.5 in the second quarter when you're up 7-0. You don't want to lose that lead. Luckily, the defense bailed you out, but still, you don't want to be doing that. So, in the end, I feel that this game is going to come down to our offensive line, their defensive line, our defensive line, their offense in general. Basically, our offense and their defense. And then it's going to be a game just based on opportunities and missed opportunities as well. You don't want to miss them, and you do not want to give opportunities to the other team like we did to the Giants this last Sunday. I have this game. The Eagles are not favorites at this point in time, okay? If you watch this video in the future, by Saturday, this game could change. It could be in the Eagles' favor. The Eagles are 1.5 favorites to lose this game. I'm going to go out and say the Eagles win this game 27-20. It's going to be a very physical game. You got Joey Bosa there, and it's going to be a great game. Don't get me wrong. Of course, it's going to be a great game. It's going to be a really interesting game, and I'm excited for it. Trust me. It's the last home game for the last away game until Carolina, and then after that, we have 3 straight at the link before we head to Dallas after our bye week. So in the end, guys, 27-20. That's my final score. As long as people come back that are healthy, like Rodney McLeod, if Fletcher Cox and Jordan Hicks come back as well, that's a really big extra bonus. But other than that, I got the Eagles winning this game by a score of 27-20. Tell me in the comments down below what you guys think. Who do you have winning this game? And subscribe if you're new. Yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Fly Eagles fly. Peace out.